Welcome back, friends. My name is Ari Gonzalez, and I am so excited to bring you guys this next episode, episode 3 of the Run It Back podcast, a music industry news podcast where I give you the rundown on all that has happened in our tumultuous industry this week. To start out, as I usually do, I'll be giving you guys some information on new releases that came out this week, or information on prospective new releases. As I say in every podcast, it's impossible for me to talk about absolutely every release that came out this week, as for Spotify specifically, there are about 60,000 songs uploaded to the platform every single day. But if you are interested in having me talk about your release, do not hesitate to utilize my contact information in the description box below. Alrighty, so let's get straight into it. We have Pusha T debuting his unreleased song at Paris Fashion Week that is currently untitled. Adam Dalapi released Call You Mine. We have Young Blue releasing Walk Through Fire, which features Neo. Big Shit released My Scene Mommy. Jasmine Sullivan has recently announced her Hotels Deluxe album. Nakel Smith released Skullface Bonehead, which is an EP. Meta releases the music video for her song Habits. Shrey released a song called Name a Game for Two. Kanye West has officially announced the release date for his highly anticipated Donda 2 album, which is set to release on February 22nd of 2022. NLE Choppa released Me vs. Me, which is an album. Babyface Ray released Face, which is another album. Dro Kenny with once again another album. These next couple ones will be albums. But Dro Kenji released With or Without You. Doughboy released Oh Really. Sinead Harnett released Ready Is Always Too Late, which is a deluxe album. Rick Ross released Richer Than I've Ever Been, another deluxe album. And finally we have Pink Sweats releasing Pink Moon. Next up, we'll be talking about some industry updates, and we have a lot to get through. So, Sachin Doshin, who spent 5 years as Spotify's VP of Content, has recently taken a position at a podcast startup called Podimo as its Chief Content Officer. Africa's music industry is on the rise and continues to garner support from U.S. markets and companies due to its large market and global industry expansion. Georgia Southern has hired a professional guitarist and composer, Eric B. Davis, as its inaugural Gretsch Distinguished Scholar of Guitar and Music Industry. Genius, a Kanye trilogy, recently premiered its first episode at the Sundance Film Festival, which humanized Ye and showed more of the inspiration that he got from his late mother. The inaugural Bull City Summit, a new showcase festival and business conference in downtown Durham, is celebrating innovation in music, art, science, and technology, and it has announced its first phase of programming, which will include opening and closing musical performances, art exhibits, and featured panels, along with much, much more. Lisa Ferris has been named Chief Marketing Officer at a business-to-business music streaming service called Soundtrack Your Brand, which is a company providing music for companies that they will not have to worry about playing. Peter Rupert, former head of music at MTV, Jeff Goldblum, who has held managerial positions at Sony and Universal, and was formerly MD at MCA Records, along with Hugh Goldsmith, a former RCA MD, and Innocence Records founder, along with various rock legends, have come together to release a new digital marketplace called Music Art. As a part of their new partnership with GLAAD, the Recording Academy is donating $150,000 to the advocacy organization in order to help bolster LGBTQ+ inclusion within the music industry. Roshi Mottman has been appointed CEO of Swedish independent music distribution company along with artist service company Amuse. The R&B singer Nicole Nikki Gilbert has plans to bring back the reality television series R&B Divas. Ozzy Iftikhari and Hannah Neves have been named co-presidents of Universal Music's catalog in the UK. A helpline, which will launch in March, will provide emotional support, advice, and guidance on how to raise and resolve issues, and will also collect anonymous data to shed more light on issues experienced in a bid to bring about permanent change across the music industry. This next one is going to be pretty long-winded. Billboard's Power has been officially released and is as follows from the number 1 spot and down. We have Sir Lucian Grange, who is the CEO and chairman of Universal Music Group, Rob Stringer, who is the chairman at Sony Music Group, Stephen Cooper, who is the CEO of Warner Music Group, along with Max Luceda, who is the CEO of Warner Recorded Music. We have Daniel Ek, the CEO of Spotify, John Platt, the chairman and CEO of Sony Music Publishing, Jody Gerson, the chairman and CEO of Universal Music Publishing Group, Irving Azoff, the chairman and CEO of the Azoff Company, Guy Moot, co-chair and CEO of Warner Chappell Music, along with Carrion Marshall, who is another co-chair and CEO of Warner Chappell Music, Oliver Schuster, the VP of Apple Music and International Content, Lawyer Cohen, global head of music at YouTube, Steve Boom, VP of Amazon Music, Hartwig Mausich, CEO of BMG, Ol Oberman, global head of music at Tik Tok, John Janik, the chairman and CEO at Interscope. We have Monte Littman, who is the founder and CEO of Republic Records, along with Avery Littman, the founder and COO of Republic Records. We have Craig Kallman, the chairman and CEO of Atlantic Records, along with Julie Greenwald, the chairman and COO of Atlantic Records. Ron Perry, the chairman and CEO of Columbia Records. Bang Suyuk, the chairman of CYBE. We have Scooter Braun, the co-CEO of Hive America, as well as the founder of SB Projects, and that is along with Lenzo Yoon, the co-CEO of Hive America, along with him. We have Wasim Sal Slaibi, founder and CEO of Salixco Management, Universal Arabic Music. Merck Marcadius, founder and CEO of Hypnosis Song Management, as well as their Songs Fund and Song Capital companies. Michael Rapino, the president and CEO of Live Nation. Corin Capshaw, the founder and CEO of Red Light Management. Jay Marciano, chairman and CEO of AEG Presents. Rob Light, managing partner head of worldwide touring for Creative Artist Agency. And finally, we have David Zedek, along with Samantha Kirby Yaw, who are partners and co-heads of Global Music UTA. Moving on from all of that, we have Nerve, which is a new virtual bank built solely to serve music creators and their business needs. Bobby Brown has given A&E Networks the prerogative to encapsulate his decades-long career within a new documentary. East Cork Early Music is seeking to appoint new members of its board of directors. Make sure to go to the links in the description in order to find out more information if you're interested. And we have New York-based record label 300 Entertainment launching its own content and film division, which is called 300 Studios. Next up, we're going to be talking about some artist or performer accomplishments. Ella Mai's Boot Up is now 7 times multi-platinum. SZA's I Hate You is currently now certified gold. Easy from The Game, featuring Kanye West, is The Game's highest charting song in almost 15 years. The Sex Pistols co-founder Glenn Matlock has recently signed a worldwide solo deal with Universal Music Group, and under the terms of this deal, he will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He will also release a new album, which has been described as timely and politically pertinent. This will be released in 2022. And Universal Music Group will also re-release a number of the bassist's previous solo albums. Currently charting at number 29 on the adult R&B airplay charts, this week is It Gonna Be Yes or No by The Temptations and Smokey Robinson. And finally, we have Leo Rush announcing on Twitter that he has recently signed to Universal Music Group, Thump Records, and Virgin Music. Next up, we're talking acquisitions, partnerships, and investments. Ingraves Music Group has expanded to Iceland via the acquisition of label and distributor Alda Music. The US-based music publishing administrator Regard Music has joined Impel for a pan-European licensing of all of its represented works. Sony Music buys Bob Dylan's recorded music. Universal Music Central Europe, a division of UMG, has signed a catalog-wide licensing agreement with Nordic fitness service Mentra. Harborview Equity Partners has acquired the publishing catalog of Latin music superstar Luis Fonsi, who you may remember from his mega hit Despacito. Apex Capital Group, a film and TV fund, has struck a 10-year deal with Mike Amoya to provide music for his European projects. Goldman Sachs leads a $227 million investment in live entertainment startup Fever. Universal Music Group, along with Twitch and Amazon, have announced an expansion of the company's agreements. And according to the announcement, the agreement will provide customers with enhanced access to some of the world's most popular music content on Amazon, including live streams, high quality and spatial audio, artist merchandise, and exclusive experiences with UMG's industry-leading roster of artists from around the world. Warner Music Group is partnering with The Sandbox to bring live concerts and music experience into the metaverse. And finally, Canadian music rights management company Kilometre has acquired 2 song catalogs from both Murda Beats and Bryson Tiller. Next up, we are covering legal news. Bohemian FC has released its new Bob Marley-inspired away kit for the upcoming season and has successfully secured permission from the Marley family for the image that they used. The CRB is currently in the midst of proceedings to determine songwriter streaming royalty rates for the 5 years between 2023 and 2027. Jay-Z and famed photographer Jonathan Mannion could not come to a settlement agreement regarding photographs Mannion took for one of his albums. So, Jay-Z is suing the photographer for using the pictures without his permission, as Mannion has several of these photos on his website with a sale price attached. Cardi B has emerged victorious in her defamation lawsuit against a gossip blogger. The rapper sued Latasha Kebby, better known as Tasha K, in March of 2019 for spreading false information about her online, including claims that she had contracted multiple STIs, used drugs, and worked as a prostitute, and she now must pay Cardi $1.25 million. And finally, Lil Yachty is suing an NFT seller called Opulus for trademark infringement after allegedly using his name and likeness without his permission to raise over $6.5 million in venture capital funds. Moving on, we are talking live music. Brad Marquis will perform A Change Is Gonna Come, the music of Sam Cooke, as a part of William Patterson University's WP Presents series. iHeartMedia announced that it is celebrating Black History Month with the return of iHeartRadio Living Black, which will feature performers including Big Sean, Her, Moneybagg Yo, Ari Lennox, Lizzo, and many more. According to the National Independent Venue Association, independent music venues in the U.S. are facing ticket no-shows of up to 50%. Platinum R&B artist Kem, along with Babyface, is making a comeback as a part of his The Full Circle tour, and the first stop will be VSU Multipurpose Center. Anita Baker took to Twitter on Wednesday to announce a new Las Vegas engagement in May. And finally, after a 2-year hiatus, Soul Bloom, an independent music festival, is returning to Sacramento's Discovery Park for a 2-day R&B, soul, and hip-hop spectacle on April 30th and May 1st. Next, we will move into drama and controversy. Ari Lennox tweeted about wanting to be dropped from her label, stating that she is done and tired. Taylor Swift slams musician Damon Albarn for claiming she doesn't write her own songs. She made a statement explaining how this is false and extremely damaging. Janet Jackson recently came out with her truth on Michael Jackson bullying her over the years. Bow Wow made a revelation during a Q&A session with fans on Twitter. Someone asked, "Do you have any regrets in the music business? If you could have done it all over again, what would you change?" Bow Wow responded, "Just been an actor and never touched the music." And finally, we have Neil Young's catalog being removed from Spotify after he gave the platform an ultimatum of keeping his music or keeping Joe Rogan's podcast. And as per usual, we have some unfortunate deaths to close out this episode. We have Terry Tolkien, an A&R executive who signed bands like Stereolab and Luna to major labels in the 1990s, and who is believed to have coined the term alternative music. And then we have Roy Rickfin, the founder of Spring Records. So as per usual, I hope that all the families have a healthy and peaceful grieving process, and I offer my deepest condolences. With that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I always am looking to give you guys as much insight as possible and make the journey of the music industry as simple as it can be. I know it can be really hard to take in all of this information. So once again, I hope that you guys enjoyed. The background music for today's episode is brought to you guys by my primary client, Payne, and this is his newest release, Wavy. If you would like to check it out, make sure that you go to the description box where you can find the link. You can also find the links to all of the stories I talked about in today's episode, again, in this description box below. Thank you guys for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your week. What can we do with this one? I think I've got it.